Okay. So basically, data integrity. Okay. So what it is? What is the main by data integrity? And this technique, how it will be useful for our database. Okay now, and what purpose this technique I want to implement on my database tables. Okay, so that we will check out here. And the first of all, I just come to my database guys here. Okay, let's reconnect here. Now we can see. So guys, here we are going to create one new table in our database might be 6 p.m. And these are some tables we have it here. Okay, fine. So observe this. So I'm just creating one new table, the create table, the table name EMP number 5. Okay, suppose the ID in diesel, and we are passing e name. Okay, and we pass here salary. Okay, now we are passing here age in diesel, etc. So this is one table. Okay, I'm going to design here. Okay, and executed. My table completed successfully. My table completed successfully. So after completed your table successfully, guys, here, okay, let me see. Okay, into this table, when I'm going to insert some data into this table, when I'm going to insert in some data, so how it will be means, sir, here observe. So by using of insert operation, the user can insert some data into your table. So now insert into EMP and sending EMP file and sending values. So 1021 and the name was Smith and age was 25, oh, sorry, salary was 25,000 and age 24. So this is my first report. I'm going to executing this one. Okay, so one row is affected here successfully. And let me come out and see that information in my EMP5 table and come back and see this. Yes. So your data successfully inserted into your table. So that was happened here. That was successfully happened. Okay, now. So now, but later on, guys, here the same information. Suppose user either fortunate or unfortunate, he was sending the same information. So can you tell me, guys, here the same information can I insert into this table once again? Can I insert or not, guys? Yes, we can insert. Suppose if I just come out, okay, now I'm going to executing this one. So one row is affected here. Okay, but the same thing, and one more time, if I want to insert into my table and see, it is also accepted. It means that the same information, it means that the same information are you inserted number of times in my table. And when you call select star EMP file, then you have to see the 10212121 Smith and 25,000 and 24 age. So that means the same information multiple times your table is accepted. So whenever it was accepted like this, can I say this is called as a duplicate data? Yes, we can say duplicate data. And this kind of operation is called as a data redundancy problem. Okay, this kind of situation is called as what now? Data redundancy we call it. Okay, in the same to same guys here. So this is one problem we find out here. After that, when I'm going to inserting nulls, for example, if I'm going to insert nulls, okay, now it was happen. You can see I'm inserting this record, null record. So one row is affected. The same nulls, okay, if again I'm going to insert it here, so again it is accepted now. So when you come back to your table, again the nulls also successfully, okay, the prepared your row. So multiple times nulls will be allowed here. That means null is allowed means what it was happened, one empty one empty row is formed. That means in this row, there is no data, but row is formed. How it was formed a row? Empty row. Okay, empty row is formed in your table. But what is the use of this empty rows I want to keep in my table? Is it any useful for us? Are you giving some empty rows? Are you giving some empty rows, or else are you maintain some empty rows in your table? Is it any useful for us? Okay, no need. The no useful for us. But still, when I'm inserting some empty row, so that empty row is going to be accepted into my table. Okay, now. So this is one way of null problems we call. And another example, guys, here, for example, I'm going to sending ID number, okay, and the name I will send it here Miller, and the salary 1 rupee, but age was I'm sending 36,000 years of age. So your age column, in age column, I'm inserting 36 years of age. But tell me guys here, is there any human being is having that much 36,000 years of age? Is there any human being? No. That means now tell me 36,000 years of age. Is it valid or invalid? Come on guys. Yes, it is called as a invalid. The data is not valid data, it's called as an invalid data. But still invalid data, if I want to insert here into my table, so it is successfully accepted. It is successfully accepted. One row is affected now. And let you see guys here that 36,000 years of, okay, the age, the number is also accepting into age column, but that was not valid information, that was not valid value or data. But still it is also accepted here. So now tell me guys here, after inserting this kind of informations into this table, can I say this table is having accurate data? Can I say or no? Can I say it is accurate information or no? Is it accuracy? No, this is not accurate here. This table, whatever it was having the data is not accuracy. Okay, no? Not accuracy here. So, but still it was going to be maintained and creating, accepting, all are going to happen. All are going to happen. But okay, this is not accuracy. And now tell me guys here, so this kind of tables, when we create in real time, is it okay or not? Anybody accepted this kind of tables when you created in real time? No, we cannot accept this. We cannot accept this. Then how we can avoid this problem? So here three problems are there. One is data redundancy problem. One is null problem, empty row problems. And one is invalid of data problem. Invalid of data problem. So these problems, we have it in this table. Then how we can go to avoid the problems from this table, and what we want to use on this table means, so that technique is called as what now? Data integrity. Okay, the technique is what now? Data integrity. Understanding now? Okay, right, yes. So this is the technique is called as the data integrity we call it. So finally, what is data integrity means? Okay, we can say here to maintain accurate and consistency, okay, data or information, okay, accurate and consistent data or information in database tables. In database tables. Okay, now. So that is what we call as a data integrity we call it. And this data integrity technique, when you want to implement it, guys, here, there are two, okay, the way I can implement here, this integrity mechanism to maintain accurate and consistency of data. Okay, in how many ways I can maintain my data in accuracy and consistently, how we can maintain means there are two kind of mechanisms are there. Okay, now one is we called as, guys, here, the first one is called as a declarative data integrity, declarative data integrity, declarative data integrity. Okay, this declarative data integrity is a one type of the way. Okay, and the second one is called as a procedural data integrity, procedural data integrity. So these are the two things, guys, here. Okay, now these are the two things here. There are two ways I can implement the data integrity mechanism, okay, on my database tables to maintain accurate and consistency of data. Okay, now one is we called as a declarative data integrity, and second one is called as a procedural data integrity. Okay, so now declarative and procedure. What is this? Okay, what is this means? Sir? Here observe. So declarative integrity, even though we called as, guys, here, this is predefined integrity mechanism we called. It's a predefined. Okay, it's a predefined integrity. Okay, so and why, sir, it is called as a predefined means this declarative data integrity techniques. Okay, if you need to apply on your table, so there is not necessary, guys, here. There is not necessary to user has to create, okay, these keys and techniques here. So user no need to create here. Already some inbuilt keys are there. Some inbuilt keys are there. So those inbuilt keys I'm using to apply on your declarative data integrity. Okay, to implementing declarative data integrity on a table. So that's why it is called as a predefined integrity we have. So that means predefined integrity rules are there. With the help of these predefined integrity rules, okay, so we can restricted, okay, data redundancy problems, okay, na? Data null problems, and the invalid of data problems. So these three problems we can go to avoid it by using of some integrity rules are there. Those rules we are going to be using this. But how this and what is the concept of this means here, this can be implemented by using one of the concept. The concept is called as what now? Constants. And the constant is a part of SQL language, guys. Okay, now constant is a part of a SQL language. So by using of this constants concept, okay, we can implement it here declarative data integrity mechanism. Okay, now what about procedural data integrity? Okay, sometimes what it was happen, for every rule I can't apply on your table to maintain accurate and consistency. Okay, all are okay. Sometimes some user defined conditions also we need to implement. That's called as our own conditions we need to apply. So whenever you need to apply our own conditions, then there you can go to procedural data integrity technique. I want to use it here. And this technique, even though we called as here, it's a user defined. It's a user defined integrity we called. Okay, so that means whatever the rules I'm going to prepare here, so those integrity rules are prepared by user itself. So as per my requirement basis, I can write my own logics. I can write my own logics. So with the help of that logics, I can avoiding, okay, data redundancy problems. I can avoid nulls problems. I can avoid invalid of data problems. Also, okay. So these kind of things I can go to avoid it by using of a procedural data integrity. But here, how you will be maintain accurate and consistency means by writing of some user logics. So we need to write our own logics for here. Okay. So that's why it is called as a user defined integrity rule we call. Okay. And this, okay, rules, okay, that means I want to create myself my own rules. Then we are using one of my concept is called as a triggers. And triggers is a concept of advanced SQL language that is called a TSQL. Okay, it comes under TSQL. That is called advanced language concept. This is okay. In the TSQL, we are going to be using triggers to writing our user-defined integrity rules on your table to maintain accurate and consistency of data. Okay, now right. Now in these two categories here, okay, the first one is called a declarative, and it's a part of SQL. And the procedure is a part of TSQL. So TSQL we will discuss in the second phase. Okay, in second phase I will discuss what is trigger, trigger purpose, trigger type, advantages, how to apply trigger logics. Okay, purpose of triggers, that all we will discuss in the second part. But in this part we are discussing SQL. So in SQL the first one is what now? Constants. Okay, now we will check out constants. And the basically constants are how and what purpose we need to use means here. The constants are we are going to be using guys here to restricted, okay, otherwise enforce, okay, to restricted or enforce unwanted data or information, unwanted data or information, okay, restricted or restricted what? Unwanted data or information, okay, on a table. So on a table, when user try to insert some unnecessary data, user is try to insert in some unnecessary data or invalid of data or mismatching of data, user try to insert on a table, then immediately the constant rules are okay activated, invoked, and stopping your unwanted data, whatever you inserted. Okay, now so that was is going to be happen in the constants and the purpose of constants here. And these constants are different types, guys. Here, the first one we called as a unique constant, and the second one we called as a not null constant, and the third one is called as guys here check constant, and the fourth one is called as what now? Primary key, and fifth one is called as what now? Foreign key, and the sixth one is called as what now? Default. So these are the constants keys, and these are all keys are predefined, and these keys we are going to be applying on your table columns, okay, to restricted or enforcing or restricted, enforcing your unwanted or unnecessary or invalid of data on your table. Okay, now so these are the different rules are there. So every constant key is defined one rule, and based on that rule your data can be controlling here. The data can be controlling here. Okay, right. But these constants guys here, whenever you want to apply on your table structure, so how we can apply and how we can define means here almost all databases are supporting, okay, supporting, or all databases are defined or defining constants, on table in two ways, guys. Here in two ways we can define your constants. Now in two ways you can define your constants. So first one we called as guys here, the first one is called as here, so column level constants. So we can define in column level, and the second one is called as a table level. Okay, this is called as a second level. So constants can be defined at two levels. Constants can be defined at two levels. One level is called as a column level constants. One is called as a table level constants. And now, what is the differences of column level and table level here? Observe. So in column level constant, that means in this level, constants can be defined. Okay, it can be constants can be defined here, defined at each column wise. So that means every individual columns wise, we are defining our constant. Okay, every individual. For example, your table is having 100 columns. So on 100 columns, you need to apply constants. Okay, now on 100 columns, we need to apply constants. Means so each and every column wise, individually, separately, one by one, you can apply it. So when you apply your constant, when you define your constant at your individual columns wise, each and every column wise, then it is called as a column level constants we call it. Okay, now so this column level constant, if I want to go for to how we can go to prepared and apply your constants, means there is a small syntax was there, guys. Okay, so what is the syntax here? Create table name. Okay, you send here the column name 1, and as usual data type, the size is required, you mention size also. Okay, and after defining your column, that means first column definition you just complete here. So after define your column definition, then end of the column you have to send your constant type. So which constant you want to apply? Either you want to apply unique constant type or not null type or check type or primary or foreign or default. The which constant type you want to apply on this column, that data, that constant name should be given here. So like this, every individual columns wise. For example, column name 2. Okay, for example, column name 2. And here I'm passing your data type. And if it is required size. If it is required size. And after that, what you want to say? Constant type, comma, and so on. And so on and close. Okay, now this is the column can be defined at each column wise. See, every column wise. This is first column and constant type. This is second column and constant type. So every column wise, we need to apply your constant. So that is what we call as a column level we call. And the next one is called as what now? Table level. So in this level, the constants, how we can apply here means it's after all columns definitions are completed, then end of your table definition, you need to apply your constant here. Okay, so first what I want to do, we are defining constants. We define constant. Okay, after all columns are defined, after all columns are defined here. After all columns are defined, it means that, okay, what does that mean? So that means end of the table, so not in between of columns, end of the table, we need to apply your constant. Okay, now right. So what is the syntax for this? Now we can see. So create table name, and you just pass it here your number of columns. That means how many number of columns you have to send it, that each and every column first you have to define. Okay, first you have to define your each and every column here. Understand my point now? So like column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, like you can define. After defining all columns, then what we want to do, end of the table, I need to give my constant type. Okay, this constant, are you applied again how many columns? Like column 1, column 2, and so on, and close. So now you can see, guys, here the syntax is carefully observed. In my table level syntax, you can see first we are defining all columns here. First we are defining all columns, and the end of your table, we are passing a constant type, and this constant on which column you applied, so that we call it. Okay, now, right. This is second case. But whatever the table level we applied constants, guys, here, these the table level constant, okay, is also called as is also called as, okay, what we can call as means composite constant we call. It is called as what now? Composite constant. So whenever the constant we applied at the end of the table, at the end of the table, then the type of constants are called as a composite constant. That is called as a composite constants we call. Okay. So these are the two levels the constants can be defined as. These are the two levels the constants can be defined for. Okay, now? Right. And the next year observe. So now these are the two levels. Now let me see one by one whatever the constants we have it here. So one by one we will check out here. The first constant, carefully observe, unique constant was there. So the purpose of unique constant what means this constant will be restricted, guys, here. That means it was not allowed. Okay, duplicate data, not allowed duplicates. Okay, duplicate values are not allowed. But the problem is what now? But allowed, what is that? Nulls. But allowed here, null. Allowed here, null. So duplicate values are not allowed, but allowed null. So that is the nature of your unique constant. The unique constant rule. What is the rule of unique constant means? This is the rule of your unique constant. Okay, now this is the rule of your unique constant. Now it's fine. Now let me see. So now the two ways I will show you. The first I will show you example on column level, and next example on table level. So come to column level. How to define in the column level? Let me come. So some tables I'm going to delete it here, unnecessary tables. Okay, fine. So come back. Come to my example, guys, here. Come to my example. Now I want to create a table. So create table, the table number test1, and here I'm passing serial number. Okay, serial number integer, and immediately I'm passing unique constant and some student name. Okay, varchar, and here also I'm passing unique constant. So now you can see on the both tables I was applied here unique constant applied here. But how I was applied unique constant means every individual columns wise. Yes or no, guys? Every individual column wise we applied your unique constant. Yes or no? Every individual column wise we applied your constant. Okay, right. So now we can observe. So serial number, on my serial number we applied here unique constant key, as well as on S name is also I applied unique constant. So it means what, sir? It means what, sir? Means this two, this serial number column, it doesn't accept duplicates, and S name column is also not allowed duplicates. Okay, S name column not allowed duplicates. The both are restricted. The both are restricted duplicate values into those columns. Into those columns. So that was not happening here. Okay, now. So now see, I just go to executed this one. So my command completed successful, and let me come back here to refresh now. Okay, and the test1 table I want to check and open this test1 table. And can you see the columns folder is there? You just open your columns folder, and whatever the columns it was there, it was. But can you see the columns folder is int and varchar, but by default it was accepting what, guys? What it was there by default? Your columns are accepting by default what? Yes, here it was showing null and here also showing null. So by default, your columns are accepting nulls here. Okay, now fine. And after that, this is unique constant key was applied. And that key for every unique or every constant, not only unique, every constant wise, internally some system is generating one key ID or key identity will generate it. So that identities are having in the keys folder. Let you see, open your keys folder and your two identities are generated here. Carefully observe. The UQ means unique constant, test one table, and this is your the constant key identity name. And this is UQ test one table and constant key identity name, this one. So these are called as a key names. That means the constant key names we call. The constant key names. And these names are automatically created by your system. Whenever you want to apply your constants on a particular column, then each column wise one unique identification is created. Okay, one unique identification is created for each constant wise. So your two constants I applied, unique constant on serial number, unique constant on S name. So that means same constant I applied on two columns, right? Same constant I was applied on two columns. So that what happened here, the two columns wise, it was showing some key identities we called. So then what is the use of this key identities? Suppose you are asking. So why the system is generated and what is the use of this key identities? Yes, you will understand in one by one session. In coming session, I will explain to you what is this advantage. Okay, but one thing you should be remember, what is that? When you use a constant on a column, internally system is created one unique identification address for every constant wise. For every constant wise, one unique identification address was created by system automatically. Okay, now so that is the common nature of your databases when you use your constant keys. Okay, so these are the two keys. I was, because of reason I'm applying unique constant in two times, that's why it was two. Okay, fine, the table successfully created. And after that, when I'm going to insert in here the test number one sending values, so 1 comma Smith if I'm giving now. So here I need to pass my serial number is 1. My serial number is 1. So 1 comma Smith. So when I'm inserting this record, it is successfully affected because of reason this is my first row data and it is not a duplicate. There is no comparison of data is not there. So that's why first row as usual it will be accepted now. But the second time, guys, here carefully observe. The second time, if I was sending serial number 1, but the name I'm sending here Alan. But can you tell me all serial number 1, that means serial number column, already existing one number. And this column is which type here? Unique type. So that's what we want to do, guys, here. This one can be, okay, if you insert it again, then it was comparing with your already existing data. So existing already 1 is there, and again you are inserting 1. So that means what happened here? 1 is treated as a duplicate. 1 it treated as a duplicate. Then if you want to go and execute this one, immediately error. Immediately error. And it was showing that the violation of unique constant so-and-so ID. Can you see? The same ID, here it is there. Can you see? Same ID, here it is there. Okay, na? Same ID. So that was the violation of this unique constant so-and-so ID. And you're clearly telling us cannot insert a duplicate key in the object test1, and the duplicate key value is 1. And the duplicate key value is what now? 1. So can you see? So clearly, the error also clearly showing the duplicate value is 1. So that means what you understand, you can't insert your duplicate data into my table. And now let me come out and see to execution here. Okay, so that was not here. And the same thing, okay, if I'm using it 2, but the name I'm saying here, the same name I'm saying here Smith. And now I want executing this one, guys, here. What it was happening, you can see, again, it is not allowed. So this time my problem is what now? Smith. Because already the Smith name is already existing in my table column S name. But again, you are inserting same Smith, then it was showing error and not allowed. Okay, now this was happened. So that means what happened, guys? Here duplicates are not allowed. Okay, so if I send 1 comma psi, it is not allowed, showing your error. So one is a one duplicate and the name Smith is a duplicate. So both are showing error, and both errors you can see. So one is a Smith, okay, and one is a Smith. So both are yet will be showing error. Okay, now. So now this is if you one query now. I'm using two queries. One query. So it is not allowed to you. Okay, now same problem. So now we can come out and see what system. Okay, not allowed here, but the same thing. But the same thing, if I'm using here, okay, so 2 comma, and here I will give it ln. So when I'm passing 2 comma ln, so what you want to say, guys, it is successfully accepted because the name, okay, the serial number 2 is a unique number, and the name also s name is a unique number, so it is accepting into your columns. So duplicates are not allowed, but allowed here. Problem is what we said, allowed here what now? Null. Suppose if I inserted null here, okay, then what it was happening, you can see the nulls are allowed by your, okay, null is allowed here, the unique constant is allowed here, nulls, okay, the null is allowed. So duplicates are not allowed, but nulls are allowed here. Okay, now. So this is what now, guys, here, the unique constant at which level? Column level. Okay, we applied this unique constant. At which level? Column level. Okay, now. Same as if I want to go for, okay, sorry. It's a column level we applied here. The same thing now you want to apply here. Table level I need to apply. The second one is called as what? Table level. But table level, what we said, guys, here in table level, you will be apply your constant on end of the table definition. End of the table definition. Okay, now. So now here what? So now you can see the same thing. Let me come out and see, guys, here. So I'm creating again a test number 2 and serial number integer and name I will take here. So what is the name? S name, and a passing varchar of some size. So here what I'm doing here, all columns are defined successfully, but I'm not applying any constant. But end of the table, now I will apply unique constant, and this unique constant I'm applying on serial number and S name column. Okay, now this is what we call as a end of the table we applied here. So now your constant where it is here, end of the table definition. End of the table definition, we applied this unique constant on your columns. So now I let you go and execute. So this is command completed successful. Okay, fine. So after command completed successful, again here also, let you come out and see to refresh my tables. And the test 1 or test 2 table, open your columns. So again, as usual, null is there and key is open. So now tell me, guys, here, how many keys are generated here, guys? How many key was generated here? Okay, only one key was generated. Here only one key is generated because of reason I was applied my unique constant. How many times I applied in this table? How many uniques you applied? One time we applied. Only one constant and one time we applied. So that's why it was showing one here. But previously in test number 1, how many keys are generated in test number 1? 2 keys are generated. Because of reason, your unique constants, how many times we applied here? 2 times, and 2 individually, 2 times we applied here. So that's why 2 keys are generated. But here only one, the one key is generated here. Okay. And now, okay, fine, the table is created. And after that, okay, I'm going to insert now. So insert into test number 2. Okay, sending values of serial number 1 and the name is Smith. So this is my first record. There is nothing problem. It will be accepting here. And after that, I will be call my table, the select star from test number 2 table. I'm just calling now. I'm just calling now. Okay, carefully observe. Okay, right. So now you can observe this is test number 2. Okay, fine. But guys, here, can you tell me if I want to insert the same information one more time into this table test number 2? So can I insert this or not? No, we cannot insert. Why? Because it is called as what now? Duplicate data. So it was showing error. The error will be come to you. And in this error also clearly telling that you cannot insert 1 comma Smith. So 1 comma Smith is already existing in your table. So you can't insert here because duplicate. But the next very important question here, suppose if I was applied here, okay, if I'm going to insert 1 comma ln if I'm giving now. So what happened, guys? Is it allowed or not? Yes. So many people they think what now it is not allowed. So why they're thinking it is not allowed means because already serial number 1 is already existing in my column. In my column, okay, in serial number column already existing here. So that's why it is called a duplicate. But name is different. Okay, your name is Smith, but your name is different. But serial number is the same. So when the people will what they think here, when they inserted here, this is not accepted. They think that. Okay, they think that. But here, what it was happening, can one row is affected. Okay, now. So one row is affected. And let you see that was inserted or not. Yes, 1 comma Smith is inserted. 1 comma Smith is inserted. In the same to same guys here, for example, one more. Suppose in this I'm giving 1 comma, okay, 1 comma Smith here. Now I'm giving here 2 comma Smith I'm giving now. So 2 comma Smith I'm giving. So your 2 serial number is a unique because here 1 is there, but I'm sending unique. Okay, fine. But yes, name of the employee or name of the student, Smith is there. Smith is already existing. But again, the same name, student information I'm inserting here, what it was happened, again, it is also accepted. So when you come back here and see, it is also accepted 2 comma Smith. But Smith already there Smith, but still it is accepted. 1 already there, but still it was accepted. Why, sir? Why it was going to be happen this? Why it was going to be happen this? Okay, so that kind of doubt will be come to you. Yes or no? That doubt will be come to you. So why, sir? Why it was happening like this? Why, sir? Why it was happening like this? So it means it is allowed. Okay, it is not allowed. It is not allowed. In the same to same, it is allowed. And in the same to same, it is allowed. Okay, now. So yeah, why it is allowed? Smith and 1 1. Okay, is there, but still it is allowed. Okay, why it is allowed means okay. So if you want to understand here, okay, that explanation I will give tomorrow, guys. That explanation I will give it in tomorrow session. Okay, now. So tomorrow session I will give to you that explanation and remaining constants also one by one we can check out in tomorrow class. Okay, right, guys. And I stop it here. And having any doubts? Okay, the previous last 2 classes we are not discussing about doubts. So now stay here. If anybody have a doubts, stay here and we will interact that. If there is no doubts, you can log out. Yes, guys. Okay, first I will give chat box option. Okay. So any doubts is there? Send me in chat box. Okay. Yeah, Deshmukh. So that is what I'm telling. So why it was taking table level duplicates? Okay, what it mean? Okay, so that point I will discuss with tomorrow. Okay, na Deshmukh. So Kranti, here actually topics wise we are sharing the notes, not at a time all, because the preparations will be going to happen. Okay, na that's why topic wise every topic once you completed it will come to you topic wise. And finally, this all material will be prepared by our people and they will send you lastly. Okay, na, Kranti? Yeah, Priya. Priya, I know TCL and DCL is coming coming soon. In coming sessions, we will discuss. Okay, right. Yeah, yeah. Main notes actually I didn't send it in yesterday. Yeah, because I have some little bit work, so I forgot it. Okay, now so today I will share to you. Okay, now don't worry. So Manoj, here what I said in a merge command, duplicate data is nothing, duplicate data, whatever it is, that duplicate data will not be shared, first thing. When data is matching data, what we said, overriding, update command. Okay, now when both table rows are matching data will be overriding, updating. That's called override. Which is unmatching only transfer. You can once again you just practice that example and see perfectly. You can understand. Okay, now Manoj, only matchings are overriding, unmatchings are only transfer. Unmatchings only transfer. Once you can check out once again. Okay. View is not a constant, Nilima. View is not a constant. Okay, constant is just a rule. It's a one key, and the key is implementing some rules on your table. So, for example, now unique. Unique is a constant. Is a key. Is a key, and this key, whenever you apply it on a column, then it will be implemented some rule. What is the rule? It doesn't allow the duplicate values. That is a rule for that. Okay, now. So that's a view is different. Okay, constant is different. Okay, the view concept is also there in coming soon. We will see that. Yeah, Gopi, actually, when you're using self join, how you knows that which columns you need to compare means it's a depending on your requirement. If your requirement you need to understand, okay, that's why in companies also, how are you developing your projects or any application is based on client requirements. Okay, now based on client requirements. So one requirement they will give to you, and the requirement you need to analysis how this requirement I can fulfill, in which way it is possible, what I want to use to fulfill this requirement, which kind of technique I want to use. So that is called as an analysis. Okay, in real time, analysis is also very important task. Understand now? So that's why. So based on that, you can automatically understanding what we want to do, which columns we want to compare, you can understand. Okay, now Gopi? Right. So maybe you are a SQL mid of first week of April, it will be happened here. Okay, na? Right. Asra, as per your question, the performance wise, both are okay. Both are will give same performance, but the reason where it will be used on class means, okay, that is a portability purpose. That means nowadays, of course, nowadays all of you using the portability only. Portability means what now? Moving your queries from one to another database without changing of anything. Whenever you want to move your query one place to another place, then there this on classes are preferable, because on classes are what now? Portability we call it. Okay, so that is the reason don't use a where class, use a on class to give a better performance, and also portability nature will be there. In where class, there is no portability nature. Okay, na Asra? Satyanarayana, one Smith not allowed. Why, sir? Means that is a combination of duplicate here. That's why not allowed. Yeah, Manos, if you want to restore your data, rollback you are using, but rollback command will not happen in our class. T-cell language command still there. Okay, the coming sessions we will discuss those T-cell language commands. Okay, na? Right. How to improve analysis skill mean that is depend on you, your way of thinking, your brain working, how it was your brain is working, how you are thinking. Okay, so simple. The analysis, if you want to analysis skills, if you want to implement means only the things are here. Puzzles are there. Gopi, puzzles are there. Nowadays you are seeing the puzzles. Okay, different types of puzzles we have it. Those puzzles you can do. Then automatically you can improve your analysis skill. Okay, now so puzzles one of the best thing is to improving to analysis our ideas. So puzzles, what it was telling, in which way we want, in which directional it will be matching. Okay, now so that kind of skills will be improved when you're doing some puzzles. Okay, now if you wanted, you can do that kind of puzzles in newspapers, in books. Okay, so many are there. Yeah, okay, Ratna Kumari, demo tables. I didn't send it demo tables. I already sent it now. Demo tables in Google Classroom. Not if it is not okay, don't worry. I will upload it. Okay, right. Okay, okay. Multiple parts of identifiers means Manoj, I think you are when you are writing your magic command, you are not using some alias names. In column level, the inserting column level and selecting column level, we are using without using of your table name you mentioned. Okay, so once you check out, you mentioned or not. Okay, if you check that, you can understand. Okay, guys, I stop it here. The message box, the chat box people. And mic option people also there. Somebody, three people are there, but Satish, Manoj, and Nani. So I will talk to you tomorrow, you guys. Okay. So today I have some little bit work, so I stop it here. Tomorrow I will talk to you guys. Okay, Satish, Nani, and one more person. Who is this? Okay, anybody. Tomorrow I will directly give first mic option people. Okay, now? Right, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.